Hello everyone, welcome back to the Avalon game project. Last time we have fixed the game service, added all the tests, did some refactoring, and apparently I forgot to commit my changes. I'll do it now. Okay. So now, today what we're going to do is I think we have finished the game setup state. Now we can proceed on the team selection state. So the team selection, let's close everything else and let's first take a look. So this can be, so the team selection state can be transferred from multiple places, multiple states. So it can transition from the game setup, the round voting, and the quest voting. Transition. Oh, we have to update this. Game setup state. Round voting state. Quest voting state. No assassination. Broadcast leader is choosing a team. Collect all votes. Then broadcast protocol. So on enter, we have to so we don't really need to put it here. So basically on enter we need to verify that we need to do a couple of things. Let's put it here maybe. On enter verifies from which state from which state verifies the previous state, then creates a mission and a round and or and a quest if needed. Rotates the leader. Speaking of the leader, oh yes, okay, I remember it. Last time, the reason why we haven't pushed our changes was because we have decided to add 2 more fields to the to the game service, to the game started event. First is the player IDs. We want to verify that the okay. So okay, so let's do something. So player ID is equals to event payload dot player ID. I think we should use get. Yeah, it should be an array. So actually, let's just do this. No, this isn't necessarily true. Let's just use any. So now what we want to do is that first of all, okay, we have and game ID. Now we have a game ID. Then so now we have to get a so I remember we have got the players, so now this is already implemented, so it's pretty good. So let's go back to game service. We get the players. Okay. that should not match. Got this. Okay, so now if it's okay, then we return player IDs. Okay, so now with these player IDs, what has changed? Oh, did we delete this one? Oh, that's bad. Did we also? What? What are we doing? Okay. This is mostly strange. So now, not only we have the game status, we also have game player IDs equals player IDs. So now, so let's go check the game entity. So now it has a player IDs is a list of string, and it has a leader is a string, and this is so this is optional. And this is optional. Okay. Now we have everything. So at this point, the game does not have a leader. So I think we can leave the team selection state to deal with that. Now what we have to do is to update the test game service. Again, let's put this on the right half and take a look at what went wrong. So what went wrong was the event object does not have attribute payload. Event doesn't have a payload. This is mostly strange. It does have a payload. Oh, payload. Okay, much better. Now we only have one error, which is the get players. Did we players? No. Players. Player service. Oh, we don't have the player service dot get players. So now what we need to do is player service dot get players dot return value equals to players. Now at this point we are able to actually get players to return. But now what we got wrong is the event. So this event we can no longer beat this. So actually I think the player, creating the event should be after the players, because now so let's change this to game started event to make sure it's more understandable. Game started event. Now the ID, it really should be, let's just do something stupid. Not stupid, something random. So random dot shuffle player dot ID for player in players. All right. Just use P. Okay. I think that's. Again. How about now? Oh, okay. No, we had a shuffle. Was it in? No, just import random. No, this is right. Now, oh, I see. Okay, so okay, player ID is equals to this random shuffle player IDs. So now payload equals to player IDs only expected event. Wait, this is payload game config versus game config. Config. Why event has game config? This is wrong. Do I have a game config? Yeah, this shouldn't be game config. This should be this. Now, what we're so player.id mock is not iterable. So get players is not returning the things it's supposed to return. Why? Why is that? The player service dot get players, the actual player IDs equals to players. This player we got it from. No, this is not right. Mock is not iterable, so players is a mock. So here the get players dot get players dot return value equals to players. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is where the negative part. So here we want to verify that the game has already started. So the verification. So what we could do is to pass this players to this method so that we don't have to do two requests. The problem with that is if the input is invalid, we are going to do all this calculation for nothing. But that is, I think, something I'm willing to risk. So here, instead of player game IDs, I'm gonna give it players. So now instead of game ID, we have players, which is a list of player. Now we have payload. So now we no longer need this, and this can be a static method. Because I get player IDs, yeah, so this no longer need this. Yep. Okay, so now what we want to verify, so instead of these these two edge cases, we need to verify something else. Def test handle game started with what? Invalid player IDs. So now we need game service, we need the player service. We need the com service, that's fine. Okay, let's see the auto-generated one. So we do need a okay, actually let's do a parameterize as well. Player IDs, it can be empty, it can be fake invalid ID1, invalid ID2, and actually let's this is good enough, I think. So we have player IDs. Now the player IDs is this, but the game stats not started, get game, return game, and assign rows. Oh, one player is good enough, I think. So now the player service dot get players return players, and the player service dot assign rows also return players. Okay, so now we expect a value error. We want to get game assert called once with this, yes. Player service assign rows, I think it is also executed with game ID and game config dot rows. Actually, we don't need this. Call once with game ID, game config rows. Good enough. The put events never called, should not be called. The notifier should not be called. Yep. So now what is invalid? Player service dot, wait, what? So now, yeah, okay. So now we have everything. So I think this one's pretty good. Oh, and the game. So here, so the happy path, we have to have the player IDs. Oh yeah, we have updated the game. Game.player IDs equals to player IDs. Yeah, still passing, good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy at this point. So now I think we can proceed on close others on the team selection state. The team selection state rotates leader. Yep. So now let's go to the QuestService and implement this handle on enter game selection stage. So now what we do, we first verify from which okay, this time I think I'll do TDD properly. So now we have a quest service. Okay, so now we have this again. Let's split the string, drag it to the right part. Now so the quest service, it does not have a constructor yet, so let's just add a pytest of fixture def quest service and just return quest the service. So now we want to do the import the good stuff, and we want to def test handle on enter team selection state. Before we proceed though, I wonder if we want to rename this thing team selection state or just selection state. Proposal state, team building state, team selection, team selection state. I somehow don't like this. Anywho, okay, so now we don't have anything, so let's just delete all these and do an assert true. So now everything should be passing. Okay, good. So now what we want to do is, first of all, we'll have to verify from which state, what's the previous state. Is it game setup? Is it round? Or is it or is it Quest? So let's think about it. So it doesn't matter it was from the if it doesn't matter if actually, you know what? So doesn't matter. So first of all, no matter what, so let's think about from which the previous states could be. It can be GameSetup, it can be QuestVote, or it can be RoundVote. So for GameSetup and QuestVote, we will have to create a new mission, a new quest, and if the previous state was round voting, we do not need to create this quest. So what's the characteristics of the game setup? We cannot find any mission. So what's the the game setup? We cannot find any quest. So what about the quest voting? So the quest actually have a state. So we don't have this quest entity yet, but so let's create one. Quest.py. So now this quest is also a data class. It has an ID, of course. It has a result, or should we name it, keep it as a status? No, I think it should be result. So I want to create a new constant named voting result. This is class voting result. It's an enum. We have passed equals to passed. Yeah, I learned my lesson. Passed equals to passed. Failed equals to failed. Okay, so now quest has a result which is optional. Voting result. So other than voting result, I also wanted to have a team. Team member IDs or team ID, team member ID, team member IDs. It's a list of strings. So if also this is optional. So after that, I think this is good enough for now. Okay, Okay, so now once we have that, we want to have so if request yes. So this should return a Boolean value. So basically, we want to ask the repository to get us all quests. So now we don't have repository. Let's init okay. So now here we have to insert a fixture repository. So marker, we want to return a spec equals to QuestService. Nice. And now this should have the repository and have this. Cool. So now we want to verify, and we have so create quest. So when creating the quest, it doesn't have anything. So I want to add game ID to player event as well. I'll do that later. Okay. Get quests. So now let's create this method and let it do nothing. So now so actually repository, do we have a put quest? No, why it's not warning me? that's why. Okay, so now it does remind me. Okay, should return quest, and this should return again. Okay, and this should return a list of event. Okay, so put quest, we have this. Just return this. Good enough. Oh no, we create a quest. So when we create quest, we need to know the quest number, which is int. So this is necessary. So we can only get the quest number. We can have a okay. So now we get quests. Okay, so now we can get quests. Get quests. Okay. Sorted quests equals to sorted quests key equals to nope, it is actually the quest number. So now last quest equals to sorted quest this. So no, because at this point we do not know if quests is an empty list. so we can't just get the last item. So basically we're saying that return, so but is creating no quests equals to this last quest completed dot result is not none. So return. So if there's no quest or the last completed, we want to create new quest, right? So how do we create a new quest? The so instead of getting quests, it's more like getting the last quest. Get last quest. Optional. So if this returns a none, we're going to assume that there's no quest available, right? Quest number. So none if not sorted quests, else -1. Yes. So now okay, so this we can do last quest equals to self.get last quest. Return last quest is none, or no, actually I think I would rather create two more variables. So it's no quest equals to last quest. Last quest completed equals to last quest and last quest dot result is not none. So basically this last quest and last quest dot result. So return no quest or last quest completed. Cool. So now then it creates a quest. The quest I want to get is we still want to get last quest. So 1 if not last quest, else last quest dot quest number +1. Yep. Now put quest, I want to give it a quest number. And now we have to change this. Okay, so now let's write tests. So here, I know we haven't done anything, but first thing is if so we have this and we have repository. Given that the quest equals to I don't want a, I just want a quest. Quest can be this is good enough, right? ID and the quest number. Yeah. Result is optional. Okay. So now, given that the repository dot okay, so now we have quests repository dot get quests return value equals quests. Actually no, I want two of them. Okay, so now it returns quests. Given that, we want to make sure that when the get started, okay, I have to give it a game ID. Then get quests get called by game ID and create quests called by actually yeah, this is right. So nope, repository dot get quests return value equals to quest. Why this is incorrect? Wait, QuestService? No. This is repository, which we need to import. How about now? Would it pass now? Still, but at least we get a proper error. Create quests. Do you mean get quests? Put quests. Put quest actually. Put quest be called. How come it's not be called? So get last quest, we should get this one. Oh, its status is not completed. Oh, its result, sorry. Get two calls. Get quests. Why get quests? Oh yeah, because get last quest got okay. Assert. Has calls. Call name ID and call. Actually, you know what? Assert called with game ID. Let's not assert on the times it's get called. So now it's passed. Okay, and we want to verify. No create quest, so we do not need this parameterized because the quests, we do know what it should return. So the quests should look like past and it should not get a result. So now put request should be assert not called because we're not creating a new quest. Cool. Okay, I think we made some progress today. I'll stop here. Next time we are going to continue implement the handle on enter team selection state. Actually, lots of things need to be done here. So this might last a couple of days. Yeah, cool. Thank you everybody. See you next time. Bye.